1. They had the tools to do it. They had somewhat of a lead, but they could not convert. The lead just did not seem big enough for them. Yeah, they get to have the counter pick again, like you said. So Team EnVy will have a little bit of a help there with the last pick. Could go for the Talon, but I think it gets banned away. Counterlogic Gaming, I think they have momentum here. Counterlogic Gaming, with a win, secure 4th for themselves. A great position to be in, because a 6 would put you in a position to be up against Phoenix 1. And so Team EnVy, they're kind of just playing for experience, playing to not go anywhere in the standings, but just kind of send a message. So this is like some of the best practice they'll get right before the tournament. Make sure those hands are warm moving into promotion tournament in the upcoming week. Ziggs and Rumble, though, starting off the ban phase. There's an Italy ban from Counterlogic Gaming, so changing things up already. Camille and Rumble ban again from EnVy. I imagine the Rengar will join again because they have banned the same 3 champions every single game. CLG, a bit more leeway to be flexible here, although maybe EnVy also wants to consider the likes of a Lulu. Counterlogic Gaming could go with the Caitlyn here, which they did before. Graves will be left up, so I don't think they have to really do anything with that, but okay. Gonna ban it away to EnVy, go for Rengar again. Well, this means that Lulu, Rengar, both up. They'll take the other one that gets left up. And with that ban of the Graves, there really isn't a great answer or something to take when Rengar gets banned. So Counterlogic Gaming kind of pinching the jungle to secure themselves a first-round Lulu pick without a huge answer. Well, there's the Caitlyn over to Apollo this time around. Looks like LirA, my early pick, a jungler for himself, does go for Kha'Zix this game. So some of the jungle pool cut down for Xmithie, but I'm not sure he'll be too bothered by it. Did play a pretty good-looking Gragas last game, so has options here. Exactly. I think the Gragas is fine for him. I think it's a quite powerful jungle now. You get a first item that's an offensive item, so you can snowball. Then you transition into a little bit more tanky power, which I think also Lee Sin kind of falls into the same pattern, where you get Warrior first, you have a really good early game, can transition. I like the Shen pick here, but I feel like the Gangplank actually had a really good showing into it. Be surprised if Seraph doesn't take that in this top lane. Seraph also took Renekton in game 1. That's so true. Like, I think regardless, Seraph's going to have a more aggressive pick here, which I think is what they want. Just a matter of what CLG pick for this next pick here. And looks like it will be that Lee Sin wanting to lock down the jungler. Going to consider it for a little while longer, but I think taking a jungler makes a lot of sense here. Just making sure you get a good pick for yourself. So Lee Sin is that final pick for CLG's first phase. And now EnVy have the opportunity to take their support here before the pool gets pinched a little. So if they want the Malzahar, if they want the Zyra, they can go for it. Even a Nami wouldn't be bad. But I feel like there's enough things that you would be okay picking Gangplank here for your top laner. And then that allows you to counterpick both the mid lane and the top lane. Yeah, I think in general you just take whatever top laner you want. I'll take Nautilus this time around. Could be a support flex there as well, but very few teams have opted for that. I think regardless, EnVy recognize that, you know what, we might as well take our top laner here. We're confident in Hakuho's ability to play a wide variety of champions. Yeah, I guess it's going for a tank in the top lane to match the tankiness that the Shen will have. Since they don't have something like a jungle Gragas that would transition into tank, you typically want your team composition to have a tank. So the way the Counterlogic Gaming were able to draft themselves a top laner that was damaged is because they had the Gragas. So now they're kind of pushed into that. They pick the Nautilus because the wave clear for themselves. You see the Vladimir ban comes out, which I assume EnVy will also ban the Aurelion Soul as their next ban. Well, I just wonder where Counterlogic Gaming are going as the Zyra ban. So starting to pick on the support pool here. Yeah, maybe Zyra Talon, unless you're picking something that you don't think Talon plays well into. Or you go for the Zyra Malzahar and you force them onto a Nami pick. But I think there's kind of more effect in going for the Talon ban here. Well, we'll see what the last plan is from CLG, because EnVy stick to the plans all 3 games. They've banned the same 5 champions, I believe, this whole series long. See what CLG wants to do to adapt. There is the Malzahar, so support pool getting an additional pinch. We'll see what EnVy wants to do here with their support pick. Do they go for it now? Do they maybe even want to not counter pick, but save it? See if something else would fit compositionally. But I imagine they're saving the last pick for mid lane, even though something like Talon looks pretty attractive here. Yeah. You go for something like Nami, Braum even, Thresh. I like Thresh here from Hakuho. Gives him an engage tool, 2 hook champions. So I was about to say that they broke up the Caitlyn, Lulu, Orianna by taking the Caitlyn. I was like, maybe they'll ban Orianna, but they've consistently banned the same mid laners.
CLG could conceivably play Kog'Maw Orianna here.
I actually think this is the perfect Kog'Maw composition with Kog Orianna. You have a shield from Lulu, best support to have alongside the Kog'Maw. You have a top lane Shen to shield the Kog'Maw. You have a Lee Sin for disengage. But no, it's going to be the Lucian here for Stixxay.
Lulu Lucian still good. And if Huhi does just want to go back to that blind pick Orianna that did earn him player of the game in the second game, then hey, why not? Might as well take it. It's relatively safe into what you expect out of Ninja, even if you think something like the talent is coming.
Yeah, it's a blind pick, so I feel like Orianna is just a really good blind pick champion. Okay, give him a little bit more pressure there, not have to be reliant on the team, but that's a split pusher.
That's a bit of a throwback from Huhi, but gonna go to Ekko actually. I mean, Ari is another mid laner we've seen blind picked relatively often. Huhi especially does kind of tend towards that champion more than other players, but Ekko was the first champion that really impressed me when I watched Huhi.
This is actually really sick. This is really smart. Because if you look at the composition from Envy, if they want to have a mid laner, I don't think they can go Talon. I don't think they can go Zed because of the fact they already have Kha'Zix in the jungle. They don't have a magic damage dealing top laner, jungler, or support with the two bans of the Zyra and the Malzahar. So they're forced to go with an AP mid laner here. And the Ziggs also banned away. So to avoid an all physical damage composition, they have to go AP.
Yep.
And the Ekko is the one that you're like, that's a strong split pusher for Envy style. He would take teleport. They would be able to do 1-3-1. That's actually very good by Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah, and there's Cassiopeia, the last pick for Envy. So a high damage team fighting mage for Ninja. Not an area where Envy have excelled. But if there's ever a game to magically become good at team fights for a passage of play, this will be the one here for Envy. So we'll see what happens, but CLG still fighting for that playoff seed. Remember, Envy, not quite a free roll. Again, you would prefer to win here, keep your spirits up, but also have had results break a little better for you yesterday. As it stands, though, Envy can only play for pride, but they've certainly been fighting all series long. We'll see if they can take down CLG in an upset to just really... I would be frustrated if I was CLG. If I lost my last series to a team like Envy, I'm like, really? Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, you risk having to play against Phoenix 1 in the first round, and that could be a spell disaster for you. But we'll see Counter Logic Gaming playing. If they win, they get 4th.
Sorry, I forgot there were real implications. I would just personally, I'm just like, oh, it'd annoy me. That's not what I want at all. But you're right, there is actually real implications. Not to obviously having a higher seed being better, but the teams you play against, quality is expected to be raised there. Also, you have to play down those lower seeds.
We do dynamic side selection. So you will choose after the game, and if you are the higher seed, you choose for games 1, 3, and 5. And if you're lower seed, you choose for games 2 and 4. So if they went to 5 games, you still have an advantage. Even if you lost game 4, you have an advantage in picking the side that you want after seeing all of the drafts of your opponent. So having the higher seed is still better. So 4th over 5th is definitely still a win for Counter Logic Gaming.
Yep, other note there, they kind of mentions that, you know, don't just get a arguably easier opponent moving into your first round, but subsequent rounds as well, you will play, your seed will help you moving through all rounds of the playoffs, except of course the finals, where, good luck, you have to do everything on your own at that point. Yeah. But we'll see what happens here for CLG. 4th, 5th, or 6th, where are they going to land? I guess we're going to find out after the conclusion of this game. Envy playing Spoiler, which again, feels like it should be a little freeing here, but still plenty of them to focus on as well. Moving in towards their battle next week in the promotion tournament. Apollo back on his trusty Caitlyn though. So we'll see if he can do more of that sieging style that Envy have shown a lot of confident games on actually.
Okay, so I just got confirmation on the positioning. If Counter Logic Gaming win, they are 4th place. If they lose, they're 6th place.
Uh-oh.
So it does matter, because in the first round, they're either playing against Phoenix 1, or if they bump down, I believe, or if they win, they will end up playing against either Dignitas or FlyQuest, depending on who is in that 5th. I believe it is, I believe it would be FlyQuest.
Back it later, as we do welcome the viewers over from NALCS 1. Welcome to the last game of the spring 2017 regular season.
So I did get confirmation. Yeah, it is the very last game, you're right, of the regular season. But yes, I did get confirmation on this, where Counter Logic Gaming, 4th place if they win, they will go up against FlyQuest. Or if they lose, they will be 6th place playing against Phoenix 1. So definitely a big difference in your opponents there, whereas FlyQuest just went to 3 games up against Liquid. So that's one where you're going, all right, you know, FlyQuest has been slipping. when we were looking at the second half of the split for them, it wasn't looking that great. I would definitely want to play FlyQuest more than Phoenix 1 right now.
And we have to think so, but off to a decent start here for CLG's bottom lane, pushing up there on the Lucian. Huhi and Ninja battling back and forth. Nice little positioning there by Huhi to get the back hit of that Time Winder. But Ninja is using E wherever he can, and Seraph for a decent early lead here in his 1v1 versus Darshan. Nautilus is kind of the best tank.
Yeah, he has the most wave clear early on in the game. And Aphromoo looking for a LirA kill!
He's gonna look for no! It's not quite enough, and now Xmithie actually onto Hakuho. Apollo gonna try and save him as the flash is out the hook. Not gonna land, and Xmithie gets real aggressive with his support.
LirA goes down to 1 HP. Literally 1 HP for LirA.
That is not very many.
Absolutely right, Pastrytime.
I'm not doing math. I'm going to tell you exactly how many. I'm just going to tell you what I know. Darshan and Seraph still duking it out. Seraph, though, kind of winning some of those trades, although Darshan with the taunt looking nice. Looks like Seraph has done the double Riptide again, which we saw players get in trouble doing this.
Yeah, when you're going 2 points into your Riptide early and not taking your Q for the escape, but because he saw Xmithie on the bottom side of the map on the invade, it makes him feel safe about that.
Might have done it anyway, but we'll have to see.
Maybe.
Seraph's certainly a player that does like
probably
right. Lane. I mean, look, last time it happened, he got killed by Acadian, so...
So now
the viewers.
Now he knows for sure that he's okay.
Now level 4 should be alright now, and again, Darshan taunting back in, but... Titan's Wrath, Riptide, and yep, Nautilus just kind of walks away from the situation. Darshan can have to rejuve a lot of health.
Yep, but behind him, Xmithie is actually walking up.
This is the long... Nope, just going to chill. Seraph, plenty of vision, so able to get back. Likely going to just teleport back to the lane, and things should be okay from there. LirA behind an XB, though. Xmithie's early aggression, I kind of missed exactly how that jungle parting started, but we've seen Aphro roam a lot to this blue buff and get punished for it. This time he had his jungler with him, and CLG hugely punished EnVy. They didn't get a kill, but they picked up quite a lot of advantages.
And so I was actually looking at what just happened. Xmithie actually missed the blast cone to get over the wall, and that's why he got spotted by the ward, because he was trying to actually go for a clever route. Don't know if it would have helped him out too much, but yeah. And so LirA's early route, yeah, he's definitely been shut down by Aphromoo, trying to roam and blowing the ignite, and even his flash too, because this makes it a pretty easy invade for Xmithie. And you can see even just early control wards to keep his jungle safe on the red buff side. So Counterlogic Gaming, they want to shut him down. And I talked about it in game 1 where you could see from the setup at level 1 where Darshan was watching LirA, making sure that he's not starting on a certain side. Aphromoo has been doing that over and over again by invading blue buff to try and find LirA, because LirA is the heartbeat of EnVy. He is how they start rolling and how they start getting off the ground. You shut him down, then the team just kind of falters.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again. And looks like the 2v2 lanes are also going nasty for CLG. I found another taunt back in onto Seraph, but it's just trading here, and Riptide going to win almost every time. Seraph is also teleported back to the lane, so has those double Dorans now purchased. Refillable potion as well. Huhi going to dive in onto Ninja. Does get the stun down. Huge amount of damage after the phase dive. Might even ulti back in. Ninja walk. Forced the flash back in. Free summoner spell there for Huhi. Everyone always forgets.
I know. Yeah, they do. I'm loving this this Ekko as well. I think Ekko is a little bit underplayed because the teleport just gives you free laning phase to continue to keep. Even if you're behind, you just continue to be up in items. And even if you take bad backs, you're good to go. But then you get to split push, and you get to usually beat most mages. Speaking of beating people up.
Darshan's level 6, but that's not going to matter too much here apart from some stats, because Darshan is trying to solo kill a tank. This could be first blood here as Seraph does have his flash. Xmithie looking for something else. The Seraph burns his flash. Darshan chases in.
He's got
he's going to go all the way to the side. There's the taunt. He's going to get a first blood. Goes to Darshan.
Solo kill in the top lane. Runs him all the way down the lane. Seraph doesn't have flash now. He doesn't have teleport, and Darshan off to a great start.
That Spectre's cow for Darshan. Bought a little more time. Took the punishment when Seraph TP'd back to lane. And was just able to cleanly 1v1 Seraph. When Seraph refills that potion, fires a Nomadic Mantle to control it, he's like, yep, alright.
Yep.
It's not going very well now.
That's
a bad sign when your top lane tank dies solo.
Yeah, he was definitely hoping for a different outcome, but look at that. Doesn't even care about the minions. Able to stay right next to him. Nautilus incredibly slow. Shen also very slow, but we'll just chase him down. Has the taunt coming up now and the flash. You can see goes for the flash into the taunt so that he doesn't lose any units of his dash. Because a lot of people will do it the other way where you taunt flash. Just flash taunt.
Xmithie also down towards the bottom lane. No kick available for Lucian, but
here comes Huhi and Darshan.
yeah, this is really nice tower dive. Polo actually just can't get out of this, I don't think. Taunt goes down. Xmithie grabs the next kill. There's a kill actually as Huhi dives down here as well. A great roam down from CLG, gets some 2 clean kills under a turret.
Yep, they got that early lead in that top lane, and then immediately Darshan abuses the unanswerable global because Seraph's TP was down, and then goes to the bottom side. This will be that first turret going over to CounterLogic Gaming, the first one that EnVy doesn't get in 5 games.
Yeah, gonna finally break this streak right towards the end of the season, as there's the turret gold over to 3 members of CLG. Big burst of gold already. You can see CLG at 2,000 gold ahead, and for me, a lot of this difference is just in Stixxay and Aphromoo. Such a way more aggressive bottom lane. They're using their advantages, and they were pushing in consistently down to a lane that otherwise in this series they were actually losing quite a bit.
Yeah, also a little bit of the fact that it's a low range matchup in the bottom side for the supports, where there's 2 people that can kind of wail on the Caitlyn, and Caitlyn doesn't have anybody to empower her, no enchanter on the team, like a Janna, a Nami, anything like that. So the Thresh has to kind of look for all-in opportunities, which is interesting because early on, LirA got the flash and ignite out of Aphromoo, so you would kind of expect the pressure to be in the hands of EnVy. If they do land a hook on somebody like Aphromoo, they could go all in, but it looks like it just never had that opportunity.
Yeah, Ninja though does have a good CS lead here in the mid lane. Huhi's roams got him a kill, so that gold is likely pretty even, but early mana items done there for Ninja, so Cassio is healthily on the way to his first initial spikes of power. EnVy though trying to set a trap here for CLG, or maybe even going for a mid lane gank.
Yeah, they're going to be spotted out here though, and they're going to see what exactly is going on as EnVy put 3 people in this bush. LirA
too far forward. Lantern going to leap over it instead, but should still be safe here. CLG probably indicates to them that they can go for some sort of invade here. Stixxay pushing up the bottom lane right now. Aphromoo going to clear out this control ward, and EnVy really tightly packed together, just trying to defend parts of the jungle. CLG are already starting to exert their influence pretty heavily on EnVy's side of the map.
And just shove in, make sure that you're contesting the second blue buff here. Would be a big win for them. Yeah, it's leashing back and forth, only 2 more. And then it resets. There it goes.
It's mad. Off it goes. Aphromoo going to get knocked out by
TP
Seraph, who TP back in for it. Aphromoo doesn't have his ultimate, he's only level 5. Seraph able to get a kill for EnVy. Darshan though busy proxying the wave, so what's it going to cost them all? Stixxay gets that camp, they're going to turn him back in onto Apollo. The culling is down, going to try and get a kill, but he's shut down as Ninja gets his first kill.
I don't know what was going on there. Stixxay just kind of wants to kill Apollo. No summoner spell is blown from Stixxay, but he just ends up in the same bush as him, kind of the wrong part of town. Speaking of the wrong part of town, Huhi
wants to do something here. Ulti, how bold is he feeling? Pretty bold. Oh, misses Ninja for the damage. Now Hakuho lining up for the hook. Huhi just steps out of the way. Lantern, no, it's a little short. Hakuho hasn't been rushing up on the Thresh, and now Xmithie making pay for it. Huhi actually gets the kill. Ninja might even go down as well. This is a chaotic game.
And stun.
Dive back in onto Huhi. Good stun, but Darshan's here. There's the taunt landing in. Xmithie falls back in for the execute damage as Darshan goes down. Apollo turns him back onto Ekko as now Ninja caught out on the other side is forced to flash away. We're going to chase down Xmithie, and he gets him. Apollo, they're going to go down to the ignite of Aphromoo. Wildgo's going to save Darshan. 10 kills, 11 minutes. Welcome to the last game of the season.
And they all pretty much happened right there. It was 3-0 before this all started, I believe. And it just goes back and forth over and over.
Aphromoo thought about another one, but Ninja, I think a little too strong there. Seraph, they're trying to trade turrets at least.
Yeah, he'll actually get this turret. TP from Darshan will have to be used. And yeah, he's not going to get it now.
Darshan able to take down the minions. Has a pretty early Tiamat, so that's not too hard. But let's watch this 6-fun exchange again.
Yeah, the lantern arm from Hakuho. No, gotta do some more curls. I'm just saying. This it's almost there. Stick out your claws. You can touch it. But couldn't ultimately. Huhi turn around with the stun, and then the taunt, and then they just kind of stay in. Huhi doesn't really need to stick around there, but Apollo may have picked him up anyway. And then, oh, the blocked headshot there from Apollo. Yeah, the Spirit's Refuge was still on for just that extra little bit. And that made that headshot from the 90 caliber net actually just completely moot.
Well, 1,000 gold, excuse me, up for CLG. But it's been a pretty fast-paced game so far. Envy, significant damage done to that top turret, although Seraph's turret looking a little unhealthy as well. So Envy should be able to equalize this gold pretty soon. It's just a matter of, you know, a CLG willing to continue to play it at such a fast pace. I mean, Darshan is 2-0-2. Huhi has 2 kills with a finished proto belt already, and CLG are now down onto the Ocean Drake. I mean, CLG are saying, you know what, Envy, if you want to play fast and loose, we're happy to play with you. But over the series, CLG is looking that much sharper this time.
Yeah, looking great. It seems like they've dropped the ball a little bit in terms of their pressure and gave up more kills in that last exchange than they got in return. But I still feel like their 1-3-1 is quite powerful. But the Cassiopeia picking up kills, not a good sign. Ninja, he has those games where he can go off. It's always kind of like, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates with Ninja.
I never know what I'm getting with Ninja. And I have casted many Ninja games. He has a unique champion pool. He's got a unique playstyle.
Him only back in LPL.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you what I've seen. A lot of Inhibia.
Oh.
Yeah. It's been a little while, though. Aphromoo and Stixxay roaming towards the mid lane.
Yeah, looking for a play onto Ninja.
Stixxay is in there, yeah. Oh, still gets stunned. Caught in the miasma as well, so that's going to win. In fact, Aphromoo might even die. Stixxay there to protect him, but LirA around the other side. Xmithie and Huhi here, though, so good coverage from CLG, but Envy, I think, a little wise to the plan. They know Ninja's fed. CLG going to try and pick on him, but Envy making sure they protect their mid laner.
Yeah, also, bottom lane is now going to have some pressure on it. Apollo will be able to clear this out. Maybe pick up this turret, but this top lane turret's going to get traded. And that red buff on the bottom side of the map is now property of Envy.
Yep, CLG, again, just strong proactive play. Now that, you know, they haven't fallen behind in the early game, they've actually gotten the lead, they're able to play just way better with initiative.
And Counterlogic Gaming identified that they have a tempo advantage here. They can clear the wave really quickly, and then they can do some damage to this turret. Seraph will be there, but 1v4, not exactly the ideal scenario to be in. This bottom turret hasn't gone down just yet, so they're recalling Hakuho. And they're also getting LirA here, so he'll push off of this.
Took a long time for Apollo to take, but he does get the turret. Envy's top tier 2 doesn't take too much punishment. But CLG again, moving Huhi through the jungle. He's got a blue buff for himself. Trying to cut off anyone from Envy, walking the greedy way back towards their lanes. And maybe even a trap being set here for Seraph. Stixxay is playing very aggressively in this Lucian game, just trying to gank mid laners, setting traps for top laners.
I mean, he's got the Blade of the Ruined King completed, which is actually a pretty big spike for Lucian. People would go for like the Youmuu's Black Cleaver. Now it seems to be like the Black Cleaver after the Blade of the Ruined King. And the fact that his passive will also apply on hit effects, so you get 2 Blade of the Ruined King hits every time you're using the Light Slinger passive. He's being quite aggressive with it. And even if he messes up, if he doesn't die, he can still just lifesteal back up. It's kind of like AD carries haven't felt this way since Bloodthirster was a rush.
Yeah, and that's, I think, a lot of what Blade of the Ruined King currently feels like to me. Thankfully not as strong as that item was in its heyday, but Stixxay certainly playing well with it as a result. Envy still finding themselves behind. Gold's kind of teetering back between 1,500 and 2,000 gold up for CLG. But if they can keep growing this lead, we know Envy struggle when they don't have a really substantial lead.
Yeah, when they have a lead, they still struggle. When they don't have a substantial lead, it's still not the brightest of times for them. And Darshan, I like how he's gone for that Titanic Hydra first before completing pretty much any armor item. He's building solely for the lane in the split push. It's just Darshan style. And he's got actually a hefty amount of damage behind him. He clears these minion waves very quickly. He's a monolith champion, so he eventually will run Seraph a little bit dry if it's a continued back and forth.
Pressure continues here. Some final pick up for grabs in a number of minutes. LirA is going to get queued on by Xmithie, but he does collect the Scuttle Crab for himself. Xmithie's played really nicely in the early parts of this game, just been consistently pressuring Envy with his Lee Sin.
That's what you need as
well. Oh, something polymorph in. There's the kickback. A great flash kick from Xmithie. Stixxay collects the prize, and CLG get a clean kill mid.
That was really well done there. Ninja doesn't even get a chance to ulti. That's a great kickback from Xmithie, as well as the combo from Aphromoo and Stixxay to follow up.
You can see Stixxay really weaving a lot of these auto attacks in.
And we talked about how there was that tempo advantage on the top side of the map. Well, that it's like some turret damage where like it's not going to amount to much, but it actually amounts to more pressure for Huhi in this top side. He's got the teleport, and now he gets to pressure the top side of the map, gets to place wards, clear wards, and then he can show up to skirmishes like this. But also, he's going to go fight LirA right now. Might kill him.
Actually, I think maybe will if he goes straight in for the dive. He's got his ultimate, so safe to try and get aggressive under the turret.
Yeah, this is crazy though, because now Huhi's in a great spot to get damage on this turret. They're dealing damage to the middle turret here. Counterlogic Gaming feel great in these sieges. They'll back up, then they'll reset and wait. And Huhi gotta wait for LirA.
Be caught again, but actually Huhi and Ninja are gonna tussle. Ults back in for a bit of extra damage. Here comes Shen. Darshan gonna still move in as Hui's Merc Tread wear it off. There's a great flash on. Flash over the wall with the phase dive, and Darshan on a killing spree.
And now they'll get this top turret right afterwards. And this middle turret is so low as well. Counterlogic Gaming are playing the 1-3-1 beautifully. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, and just using the consistent pressure. At some point, EnVy just cracked.
And the Infernal Drake is up soon. It's in 30 seconds. As soon as EnVy gets routed like this, here comes the teleport. And Huhi has TP, and he's still on the turret.
Darshan looking for someone else. Doesn't quite turn onto Hakuho, but Xmithie kicks LirA back over the wall and isolates Apollo. Good hook. Could protect his AD carry, but Hakuho may go down as a result. Resonating strike missing in, but now Apollo's going to get cold. Stixxay.
He's right in his face between two turrets, and the top turret's about to go down too.
Okay. CLG.
What was I saying? This is how you do the 1-3-1.
This is a very rapid-fire 1-3-1 style, excuse me. Oh, this is just chaos.
And they're going to get this mid-turret as well. Counterlogic Gaming just robbed EnVy blind.
I think they're just kind of sick of losing the early game. That's what it feels like, because this is an early game from CLG.
Enough of this crap, let's go! And then they start busting out the Stixxay Lucian, and he's going off. I mean, the guy was sick the other day. Emergency substitution where they have to lose a ban. They weren't even sure they were going to get to play with him today.
Yeah, and Stixxay, again, had some rough-looking games. Kind of warmed up now by game 3, though. And it looks like it's time to unleash the Lucian. 2 Drakes for CLG. The kill lead and 5 turrets to 1 with top inhibitor. A gaping hole in EnVy's defenses.
And with the fact that Huhi still has the teleport, it gives them just a way to swap him into the side lane. He's almost got that Lich Bane completed. Completed items, just looking at the Black Cleaver, Blade of the Ruined King for Stixxay. That's the combo right there. You can pretty much go whatever you want after that. You can go another attack speed item. You can go for, I mean, even a crit item if you want. I've seen a lot of different builds here diverge from that, but that's your core.
And that means that Stixxay, with his 30 CS lead, and those 2 kills and assists, is primed to take over this game with the rest of CLG. Things level 12, gonna clear this mid-wave out, and EnVy just stuck playing reactively for a little while.
And it was such a clever draft from Counterlogic Gaming. Like, huge props to the team and Xmithie for that, because they were able to take away the Ekko, the assassin that's a mid laner that's left, that's AP, where they banned away the 2 AP bottom laners that can circumvent the issue of not having an AP jungler or mid laner. And they kind of pinched Ninja into this position and gave Huhi a really good split push champion. All around, it's like really good.
Yeah, and the execution now is clearly good for CLG. I mean, this gold lead just keeps growing and growing. EnVy are going to find themselves maybe even dead in under 30 minutes in this game if CLG continue playing at the pace.
They'll be dead.
I mean,
all of them.
Not literally, thankfully.
Oh.
That's not how that works. It's not like the Matrix, Zirene. If you die in League, you don't die in real life.
No hardcore mode.
No.
Oh, Stixxay found a little path between them. Nice. Walk straight through. Trap line? What trap line?
Aphromoo job to pick up the dumplings.
Oop.
Both doesn't gonna land.
Look at that. He just gets shields from both Xmithie and from Aphromoo.
Oh, good play, actually. Great play from Hakuho. Xmithie may be caught out of position. LirA gonna leap on and give EnVy a kill back. Yeah,
but now it's the cleanup. Now they have to tend to the top wave. They have to wait for that bottom wave to actually be taken care of as well. Now it's gonna be a back from Huhi as they get to clean up.
I'm pretty confident Huhi is close to that Lich Bane money if he hasn't got it already, so does not pick it up on the next buy. So now that split pushing we've been kind of building up towards for Huhi, the extra 1 in the 1-3-1 is actually now a potent threat in the sidelands rather than just a nuisance.
I mean, that nuisance got him a turret that was an inhibitor turret while everybody else was being distracted on the other side of the map. And yeah, he's probably going to return to the scene of the crime up there. I think he goes for the top side again because you keep Nautilus on the bottom. Ocean Drake isn't up for a little bit longer, so just keep going for it. And yeah, Huhi going to split push.
He's level 14, so he's had a lot of time solo in this top lane.
Yeah, he's been going back and forth, top, bottom, wherever he can actually get some golden experience. He's behind still in terms of CS, but definitely in a great spot in terms of gold and in split push power.
Cool. Darshan going to prep things down in the bottom lane here. Does have his ultimate, and the teleport isn't too far away for him as well. So the setup back in for CLG. Still pretty early into this game at 23 minutes in, so Baron not a necessity, but CLG just have a unbelievable amount of vision control. I mean, there are no wards at all for EnVy in that river on the Baron side of the map. In fact, there's no wards really at all for EnVy in the river. Lots of defensive pink wards trying to cover this top side for Huhi, but Darshan causing just as many problems, and CLG can continue shoving minions towards the mid lane as well.
And so EnVy talked about their ward control, really nothing around the Baron. They have their top side, which is the quadrant that Baron's in, so they know that their jungle isn't falling prey to any Baron baits just yet, but it's really just still shallow vision. They don't have control. They still need to scale in two of their lanes with their Cassiopeia and Caitlyn, where their lane opponent can pretty much duel them at this point.
Good Darshan. I wonder if he was trying to redirect the team cleave away as he's going to hit that turret down. Can be tricky Shen sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, just please go to the other side. I don't have Sunfire yet. I'm not supposed to draw aggro.
Funny stuff. Stixxay though, it's consistently with a Lulu bubble on him.
Oh, top lane. Looks like having a fight.
Ninja looks like he's losing. Huhi gonna be able to dive back in. Seraph's already pulled in, but Ninja used the ultimate already. Huhi's got his, so this should be a solo kill. No, they're gonna dive back in, but here's Darshan, comes back in, needs to get Darshan back into the mix though as LirA's trying to chase him down. Looks like that got cancelled as Stixxay now on a killing spree managed to snipe Ninja on the other side with the culling. LirA though does shut down Huhi with CLG trade.
Yeah, they also got Darshan's teleport there. He tried to TP to a minion at that last part, and that actually could have been a kill for Huhi. He pulled back too fast. He had the shield from Darshan. All he had to do was auto-attack Ninja one more time, and that would have been his passive, his Z-Drive Resonance actually going off, giving him some extra damage.
Well, Darshan instead going to call his teammates down to this bottom wave, although now going to get hooked back in. Double hook as Hakuho going to flay him back towards into the box. He flashes back into the other wall, and that's a shutdown for Apollo.
Yeah, Stixxay, he's going to try to pull him apart, though. The 1-3-1, the beauty of it is somebody gets caught, you just get a turret on the other side of the map. And this just happened on both sides, so they get to answer with one there. So it's a turret for 2 kills is the trade.
Not ideal, but they'll take it.
Maybe it's not just 2.
Yeah, EnVy actually really going for broke. Seraph back down, going to try and lock down Stixxay. No ultimate though for the Nautilus as counter teleport out from Darshan.
Wow, that's a great stat. EnVy, when they're down at 25 minutes, have only won a single game out of 18 games that they've been down at 25 minutes. That's crazy.
And funnily enough, they haven't had that many deficits at 25 minutes.
18 times out of... people are approaching about 45-ish games now. So... But the early leads that they have, and that's deficit, right? That's not even like 1,000 gold deficit, yeah. That's just they're down. But look at this. This trade, this is such a good play from Counterlogic Gaming. Let's see if they can get there in time. Drake went over. It was Ocean. Completely blank. Yeah, they're rushing here. They have an idea. They just don't know the HP on it.
They just have to go and fight. I think they go into the pit and try and start something.
You got Xmithie.
Hook back down. Miasma in there as well. There's going to be the flay. Baron regenerating. But now Darshan's dove into the rest of the team.
EnVy might have this.
Well, Darshan, I think he's going to go down. He doesn't really have anything to get away from. Another great hook from Hakuho is going to get the kill on EnVy. Do they rush to the Baron?
Yeah, I think they do. That's the jungler down. That's the top laner down. Darshan down for 40 seconds. Now you have to watch out for the incoming stun, and you have to watch out for the follow-up of the wild growth isn't even on. That's right, it's down.
Ekko in. Doesn't quite get the stun back in. Seraph not in the area, but that's going to be smite over to EnVy. They take the Baron. Seraph lives through the initial barrage, and Stixxay now has to run himself out of there. Huhi maybe getting chased down there. They don't want to walk through the Ekko ultimate, but EnVy snag Baron out from under CLG.
And Counterlogic Gaming, that looked like it took them too long to do the Baron. A lot of people are pulling off it. Huhi is throwing spells to the side. It's 3,000 HP left, but I guess they didn't do it fast enough. They tried. There's a desperation call there. And Darshan ends up in this big pile of people trying to save it. So that's a play that you have to hard commit to, and they weren't able to commit enough. And it seems like some people were pulling back. Some people pulling off.
Yeah,
But EnVy get it.
Don't know if they just misjudged the timing or the damage or a mix of both, but regardless, EnVy keep themselves in the game. They're still down almost 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
But we'll see how much they can get done with this Baron buff.
But because they've been 1-3-1 for the whole game, they now have an opportunity to get some turrets back. They still have tier 1s top and mid to pick up. So all EnVy have to really do is kind of go for a standard siege here, which has been a weakness of theirs. But they have to watch out for the flank from both Darshan and Huhi.
Not confident enough just yet. Hakuho gonna fish for a hook. We'll get the ward though in the brush. So the Aphromoo trades for the control ward EnVy just put down. Again, some sweeping happening as LirA has to get out from under Xmithie. Play back into the box. Hook down onto Xmithie. They need to get him down quickly, but Huhi diving into the backline onto Ninja. Ninja Seraph. He's going to try and live through the rest of it. Apollo still fighting out of Stixxay straight to the front lines, and Seraph flash rolls forward, knocks down Stixxay. Stixxay goes down to Apollo.
And now EnVy, they're going to pick up another kill here on Darshan. He's going to go over for Ninja.
Darshan, oh, he gets it. He's able to take the kill down. LirA back over the wall as Darshan might get out safely.
Oh, the honey fruit.
But there's the flash Q honey fruit. Not enough, Zirene.
Not enough. You're absolutely right. LirA's having none of that today. Jumps up, picks it up, and right in mid lane, immediately they're going to push. They're going to try to get a turret for that. EnVy, CounterLogic Gaming actually dropping the ball there. That's big. CounterLogic Gaming right now are fighting to be 4th place and play FlyQuest in the quarterfinals, or if they lose, they are 6th place and they have to play Phoenix 1.
Game looked all but done for CLG. As the top inhibitor still smiling at them coyly. But EnVy did not lose it. They knocked down 2 turrets. They're probably going to transfer top and get that gold for themselves. And if they take one more turret, they now have the gold lead.
Yeah, and that's that top turret they're looking for right now.
It's dead. I mean, damage was already done from earlier, so EnVy are going to push ahead in gold. Baron buff up for 45 more seconds. Maybe they can push for one more siege, but they're going to go spend their money. They should be loaded.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about how EnVy need to scale and wait for that. This, Xmithie jumps in. He's 2 levels down over his lane opponent or his jungle opponent. But right here, they get separated off of that box. They can't run straight to the back line. Stixxay has to run forward. Huhi snaps back with an Ignite, so he doesn't get as much HP on him as he would like. But then Stixxay gets caught up, and that was a really well-played back line kite back from EnVy. Ninja with the Seraph's Embrace, making sure that he stays alive, and then the flash and the pickup there, making sure he doesn't pick up enough of those honey fruits to really turn it around.
LirA, sorry, claiming dominion over the honey fruit. That was a mine, Darshan. Takes him out there on the back end. Baron buff now wears off from EnVy, but pretty much back to even. 500 gold still up for CLG, but that is not a difference. Even the kills straight back to dead even as EnVy punish CLG for their misstep around Baron.
Yeah, thought it was a really good play. I even said it. It looked like it was going to be a good one to trade that for the Ocean Drake, but the damage seemed to be just miscalculated, and they didn't go for a turn, but ends up maybe costing them. Ah, there you go. They're not taking those bush baits anymore. They're like, CounterLogic Gaming, that's a dead giveaway.
Well, looks like the 1-3-1 still here for CLG. Baron buff being dropped means that Huhi's pressure is kind of back to where he wants it to be. Remember that top lane inhibitor is still a big threat.
Ocean Drake up in a minute, so Huhi's going to try to push the wave up. If he can kill Ninja in a one-on-one, being level 16 to 15, could happen. It's the Assassin Ekko with the Zonias, so he has some tools to avoid Ninja's ultimate.
Yeah, it looks like Ninja actually does have the Seraph, but also now building a GA, so pretty cognizant of the fact that he does need to be living through a lot of these team fights and stick around to do the majority of the damage. Apollo is also getting there as well, so the late game team fighting, at least on the damage end, looks pretty good for EnVy. Hard to speak of their execution just yet, but kind of see how the rest of the game falls out. In the meantime, though, CLG, 20 seconds left to this Ocean Drake and have a pretty firm position on the objective. Yeah,
the top lane push is going to allow them to continue to set up around this Drake. You can see just the vision difference on the minimap. There's nothing in this area for EnVy. They had the Baron and they had all that, but they had to tend to the top lane. They have to make sure their inhibitor doesn't go down, and they have to look at those side waves, whereas the main core from CounterLogic Gaming with Xmithie, who's got wards from his Tracker's Knife and all the wards from Aphromoo, they just get to take over the area. And now this is a face check in here.
TP's up for both Ekko and Nautilus, so
Feel like
fancy a fight here.
Feel like if the Nautilus gets into the fight, it's not as big as if the Ekko does. Ekko TP flank, a little early there too.
TP straight in front, Drake goes over to Envy, and now Darshan in the backline, but Huhi going to try and turn this back around. Redemption is going to go down, and barely going to save Darshan, maybe, but Xmithie leaps back in and kicks Ninja out, but Envy actually winning the front end of this fight. Huhi gets hooked back in and has to go immediately out, but Seraph grabs him and forcing the zombies. Now Xmithie is going to get flayed back and killed. LirA on a rampage, is going to chase down the rest of them. Envy fighting CLG, 5v5. Stixxay grabbed up, he's trying to cut it out, but a great hook from Hakuho seals his death.
And here comes the ace in the almost enough caster minion. No, he's gonna shield himself.
Ninja straight in, what's Huhi is gonna take him down. Envy just running over CLG in these fights. That's the ace.
That's a clean ace as well. Nobody dies on Envy's side. Envy now have the gold lead. They got the Drake, and that's 35 seconds on the next Baron.
Insane to think that Envy just challenged CLG in this fight.
And this 10th place team, they have these moments where they get back into it off the mistakes. They will punish you so hard. The TP flank from Ekko, he's not able to find a good entry point. Goes in, but Huhi now gets locked up. He can't get on a great target. Jumps on Ninja after the kickback, but it took Darshan's life and Xmithie's GA to get the kickback, but there wasn't a position for Stixxay. He's zoned by Seraph on the side. He's trying to pump damage into him, but Seraph has a frozen heart. He has all of this armor, and then that hook there to continue to lock down Stixxay, so he can't continue to fire. He can't get heals off of the Blade of the Ruined King. And now this Baron being live after Envy set up for it.
Yeah, Envy running back. Actually, little missed times on their overall recall timers, so wanting to make sure they get back and spend their gold. They've done so now, but they will be late to the objective as a result. LirA, though, clearing out the Scuttle Crab. That's not a huge emergency to have to rush it down as soon as it's up. CLG also back alive, so Envy, if they want to take the Baron, will be challenged for it. Darshan also causing issues, but they're going to force the issue right now. Darshan split pushing, Envy straight onto Baron.
Yep. Looks like they have about 1,000 damage per second, so it'll be like 5 more.
Huhi in the back as well. Apollo actually in trouble, needs to cut it out.
He's
but he's going to get shut down. Huhi able to take him down, but Xmithie almost dies on the other end. Now a split fight as Stixxay commits to culling back in. The hook is going to zone him out, but Hakuho taking too much damage. Ninja trying to take down the carriage, but Stixxay QS does something the ultimate. Huhi grabs the shutdown onto LirA, but Ninja could turn him back around. Stixxay goes down, but it's just a trade kill. CLG going to win the
we got the lantern.
Gets out, but Seraph, I don't think he's going to be so lucky. Tries to queue up, but Ninja is actually still alive and fighting. Darshan maybe going to go down here as Xmithie shuts one down, but Ninja running out of mana. Hakuho trying to save his teammates, but a parallel converger is going to try and shut it down. Ninja still cutting out and finally dies to Huhi, who ultis back in to try and get the ace. This time it's for CLG.
Last time that fight happened, everybody jumped onto Ninja and he had enough peel. This time they jump on Apollo and it's nowhere in sight. He doesn't have something like a Seraph's Embrace to save him. Counter Logic Gaming, they return the ace and they're going to pick up the Baron.
Alrighty, topsy-turvy game. CLG going to go back in the lead.
See, that's
taking down this Baron.
North America, their last game of the regular season, it just has to be a fiesta. No, it just has to be.
Well,
kill per minute again. We're getting there, Pastry.
Man,
almost there.
CLG, I don't know if it's CLG or Envy.
I don't know.
It's kind of dragging these games down to such high,
I don't question great
fast-paced
things.
League of Legends. You know what? I agree with you.
That's why I never question you, Pastry.
Oh, nice.
Still, right here, Apollo has to get away from the stun. Does, but it's still Darshan and Huhi with the ultimate on him. And now he just gets to kite around. And you can see Ninja now isn't playing towards his front line of Seraph because he's just zoning off Stixxay. He doesn't want this fight to completely collapse, but it just ends up being a high damage assassin with Huhi and Darshan both on Seraph and on LirA, and enough to just take them out without Huhi really having to use his ultimate there until the very end. Right here, Ninja's just kind of run a little bit low on mana and doesn't really have enough damage to kill Darshan. But that Lantern, feel like maybe going off to the left side is a better idea than taking the Lantern there, because Darshan wasn't running towards help. That doesn't matter. That would have been a really rough fight to clean up.
Yep, this time it's a 5-0 in favor of CLG, and I'll play with Baron Buff for 2.5 minutes and see what they can get done as far as sieging is concerned. Envy still 4 turrets to 6.
Yeah. And that's actually impressive that Apollo still did 1,300 damage in that short time that he was alive. He's the first one dead. He's the first casualty. He's gone at the beginning. Imagine how much damage he would have done if he had a good spot to sit in that fight and appropriate protection.
Yeah, Darshan and Huhi did the right thing there. It's so difficult for Caitlyn to get away from Ekko plus Shen. CLG committed what they needed to dive that backline.
And that's the right team fight. That's exactly what you want. The 1-3-1 when you collapse. The reason that Ekko is also a really good one is he has multiple ways to find good angles. One of them is teleport, but also just getting over the wall. And then he has the Shen on top of him. This just becomes a ridiculous way to enter the fight, and he gets the backline so easily.
Well, now 7 turrets in favor of CLG, looking to try and knock down some inhibitors. EnVy, they're all back up, ready to fight for it. Looks like Xmithie goes back. He's going to reset a little bit. Buy some wards up as Elder Dragon's also up in 30 seconds, so a lot to consider here as far as total objectives go. Huhi, though, going to try and just shove down this inhibitor. If he's left alone with it, he should be able to take it here. Just look how much damage those Lich Bane procs do every time he phase dives in.
Keeping the minions buffed up as well by staying a certain amount of units away from them. Elder Dragon up in a few seconds, and he has teleport, so he'll just stay up here on top. And right now, it's that catch-22 for EnVy. They don't fight the Elder Dragon, it goes over. If they do fight the Elder Dragon, they lose their top inhibitor, and they might lose more.
Yeah, I mean, can't afford to lose the team fight if they do opt into one. The other thing is LirA trying to clear this out safely, leaps back onto the lantern, will get out. But Ninja actually getting 1v1 by Huhi. Oh, he's going to miss the ultimate. Huhi jukes around it. Flash Order's going to get the kill, and now this inhib's falling as well.
And Apollo is now going to have to wait here. This is going to be the Elder Dragon started up.
Huhi again going to try and juke around, stuns one in, still has the ultimate ready, pops his donut. He's going to try and make it happen. Not going to get it. That's the shutdown. Too much damage.
Yeah, there's a nice little Caitlyn trap underneath him so he can't ulti back. And when you come out of it, if you're smashing the key, the game updates in, I believe, like quarter seconds. So it checked right then as he came out of the Zhonya's. Trap was underneath him and went, oh, sorry, buddy, because sometimes you can snap back before the trap goes off, but the game just updated too fast that time.
Yeah, it wasn't going too far there, unfortunately, for Huhi. I was going to be on the spot if he burnt the ultimate, but nice attempt, buying enough time for CLG to take the Elder Dragon, and he got the inhib, so now LirA getting aggressed on by Darshan. Xmithie all the way back and kicks Apollo. Darshan trying to take the rest of EnVy. Hook isn't going to land on a Stixxay, and now they break down the middle. That's going to be a Guardian Angel popped onto Darshan. There's the calling out, almost takes down LirA for Stixxay. Darshan, hook back in, might go down here as the Death Touch going to follow Stixxay.
Looking for a hook.
Aphromoo as well. Stixxay, oh, barely dodges that next hook, and Apollo's trying to kill Darshan. Spirit's Refuge keeps him alive, but not for long enough. CLG getting a little sloppy.
Yeah, they don't get that middle inhibitor. They get the top one, but Apollo just does so much damage when he's unchecked. That kickback from Xmithie, you got to think maybe that should have been a kick forward into his team if he was able to find the angle there.
Oh, Stixxay also playing with fire. Does juke another hook, but do not want to be face-checking CC at inopportune moments this late into the game. Thankfully, all the major objectives are off the map for now, so we'll have a little bit more breathing room. You can see CLG's Baron power play there. 5,000 gold up if, you know, you went on enough of a roller coaster this game.
It has been quite the roller coaster. The Baron first, backfiring on them, and then it happens, and they actually get that one, and it doesn't end up being quite the one they want. They get a little bit too overzealous, and I feel like Apollo, they got to have those clean kickbacks. They got to have those clean engages, or even just Huhi alive to threaten Apollo, because this Caitlyn feels so good in a fight where there isn't an Ekko running around.
Yeah, and Apollo's 6 items now, so that Caitlyn is doing pretty much maximum damage. I mean, Ninja still has an item or 2 to go because Cassiopeia things. But I mean, again, the late game damage is here for EnVy if they can set up the right fight. CLG just can't make mistakes here. Oh, they're going to try and cut off Apollo. I've seen this play before. Darshan's in as well.
It's the double TP. It's the classic.
Doesn't take him down. The Caitlyn's safe this time. And now CLG might be too far forward. Spirit's Refuge might protect him, but he's going to be chased out. Great ult there. Tries to tap down LirA. Force the flash out of the way. He's going to die on the other side of it. Huhi, though, taking damage as Apollo and Ninja still firing away. They just have too much there as Ninja gets kicked back in. Apollo just needs to do more damage as Stixxay plays with fire.
Yeah, he's just, oh, it's going in!
What's Hakuho not going to get it? Now Apollo going to keep moving down. Inhibitor is going to fall down, but Darshan might go down here. EnVy need a little bit more work to kill the rest of CLG, but CLG can't end the game right now.
Yeah, LirA ended up dying there to the Elder Dragon, remaining few seconds of it off of the culling from Stixxay. Gets burned down, and that cost his life. But then Huhi also dies. That was the double TP. They were trying to pull the old CLG on the AD carry move. Didn't quite work there on Apollo, who gets a lantern out from Hakuho, and then they get completely collapsed on. So it's a 1-for-1, And now everybody resets. Baron in 30 seconds, but those inhibitors in the base, and the Envy Town is in shambles right now. Yeah, the double TP on the same ward, so it's harder to tell. But then, good move from Hakuho to stop Darshan from getting in onto Apollo, and now they try to reset the fight. Ulti comes back through right onto, I believe that was a trap there. And then Huhi gets killed by some crits back-to-back from Apollo, who's doing a great job this game. I was saying this guy doesn't have that much of a clutch factor, and they've been playing around him a lot. This is actually a much better game for Apollo in these high-stress situations. And you can't let those games where he got criticized for blowing up Flash off of a Nautilus hook that wasn't going to hit. Those are the types of things in the late-game pressure situations that will cost you the game. It's got to keep it together.
Yep, and Envy will show us a lot here, and especially from Apollo, if they can keep their composure and just still win these fights. I mean, CLG, this game looked over at under 20 minutes, and CLG's mistake cost them. Envy.
LirA's on the other side of the map, so this is actually no smite available in the area.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try and get in here. Hakuho, if he steals this, no, not a chance. Gets Xmithie instead, but that's not what they want. In fact, Xmithie's going to go back in, and now Ninja's wrapping around. This could actually maybe be something. Stixxay has to be careful. Call for the hook. Might as well walk through, but it's not quite enough damage. QSS is off the person, but he gets placed back in.
Stixxay!
So much work in. Apollo flashes forward to try and get the kill, but the rest of Envy are here to try and take the
base.
fight.
The base is the big part here. They have Darshan and Huhi trying to split push, trying to end the game here. Now maybe they interrupt back.
Ace from the whole fine. Stixxay now. LirA going to try and take out Xmithie, but Aphromoo going to buy more time. Huhi doing what he can, but Darshan's here as well. Seraph, I don't think he can fight off by himself, but here comes Ninja. He's going to get them down. Huhi evaporates Darshan. He's going to fall down here as well. Seraph just needs a little bit more CC. Tagged in by the Cassiopeia Q. Ninja should get it.
And now they have to clear out the top side of the map and get this inhibitor safe. Their middle one will come up soon. The Baron did get picked up, but that's 3 members of Counterlogic Gaming who had the Baron down. Aphromoo and Xmithie are the only ones. And there's 40 seconds on Huhi. This is going to be a mid-push. 45 on Darshan. Envy actually have enough time to clear out super minions all the way to that turret.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. They have so much damage.
Yeah, super minions take extra damage from magic damage, and they have a Cassiopeia. She just shreds them.
Yeah, one more item left for Ninja to get as well, so he has not even reached his final form.
Yeah, you don't need boots. It ends up being a gigantic boon for you in the late game because you can get another item, you can get more AP, another multiplier that the Death Cap loves, and they get this turret.
I mean, this is going to go down here. CLG have to play this carefully. If they lose too much here on this push, although Envy just looking to back out instead.
Yeah, Envy, you can see some of them are like, let's play it safe. Seraph like took a few extra steps forward. Darshan's not up for 5 more seconds, guys. We got this. But they want to retreat, take care of their side waves that'll be pushing in just a moment here.
Yep, Inhibs respawning pretty soon though, so we'll have those back to play with, I think, at least one of them.
Yeah, and this right here is Xmithie. This is kind of Counterlogic Gaming. I assume the call is Huhi and Darshan will try to end the game. And Stixxay trying to come up huge. Used his QSS, but there's so much damage coming through. And then the follow-up continued. And Stixxay's in the pit, but then Ace in the hole, hey! Had to run to the side. If he ran to the left, LirA was right there to pick him up. That's exactly what they needed. But this turret, it's the one that's still standing. They don't get this turret because everybody was able to get back, and it looked like Counterlogic Gaming didn't go all in on stopping backs. The Cassiopeia damage will shred you, so you have to be confident that you can stop the backs, but also not get obliterated in the same amount of time that the Cassiopeia would kill you.
All right, CLG is going to try it again. 40 seconds with this Baron buff. Mid inhibitor is about to respawn, excuse me, but bottom lane will be up for about half of that duration still.
Yeah, Aphro and Xmithie are the 2 that have the Baron buff, so it's not the split pushers of Counterlogic Gaming, it's the support and the jungler. So that's kind of a sigh of relief for Envy, but it's still their base in shambles, close to having 3 inhibitors down. Their middle one coming back up very shortly. It's actually coming up right now.
Need to buy a little bit more time. There's the inhib straight back up, but probably going to fall back down here. LirA, Ninja, and Hakuho are trying to protect it, but Darshan's also getting minions pushing into that tower. Yeah, you have to play this very carefully. 3 seconds left, Baron buff's about to wear off.
Yeah, but Darshan, even without a Baron buff, becomes kind of difficult. Hold on, Apollo took a lot of damage there.
Gotta get
great body block.
Bouncing, that's gonna lose that middle inhibitor there. Maybe even another one. In fact, CLG are gonna get 2 here.
That's all 3 for right now. Bottom inhibitor is actually a bit of a ways away.
Well, game is getting late here. Almost 47 minutes through. Envy, they can win a clean team fight. I don't think they've got enough time to win the game, but they'll at least buy enough time to try and get one more team fight out, and that could seal it for them.
Yeah, Envy, they definitely want to go into the promotion tournament feeling strong, feeling confident. They've spent this split with ups and downs, the best early game team in the whole league at the end of it, but it's still not enough to get them those game wins, get them those match wins, to get them out of the promo tournament. But they're looking to go in with some extra oomph behind them, some confidence. For CounterLogic Gaming, this means, honestly, a little bit more for them. 4th place would be big. Playing against FlyQuest instead of Phoenix 1 is a huge deal to get you to the semifinals.
And you can just tell that CLG, like, don't really want to tussle with Envy. They're trying to get the lanes pushing in, but, and to their credit, they're not getting themselves caught out. In fact, some poke back onto LirA is nice for CLG. If they can fight a 5v4, they're probably golden, but 29 gold on that Baron power play for CLG. Didn't have a whole lot left to take, though.
Yeah, that's right. It's just back and forth, the struggle. That also does include the Baron gold. But remember, they lost almost everybody. They lost 3 people off of that. Lost some GAs too. And I also want to talk about, because it means so much for CounterLogic Gaming, 4th versus 6th, your opponent being Phoenix 1 or FlyQuest. One much easier than the other right now, but also it's way better to have the easier opponent, not just because, you know, oh, people are like, oh, if you need to beat anybody to win. But at the end of the day, Worlds is the ultimate goal. You get more circuit points, more championship points if you can make the semifinals. Much higher probability of actually making it to Worlds as one of those seeds for North America. If we're looking ahead months.
Yeah, I mean, look, seeding matters. That's the plain truth here for CLG, and losing means that they get 6th. That is the worst possible playoff seed.
And you're playing against one of those teams at the top, so it means bad news, and it means that you may play against TSM, even if you win that match. You would be the 6th place seed, and because of dynamic seeding, you would be seeded to place TSM in the semifinals.
Well, Elder Dragon goes over to CLG, but Envy, I think, have a pretty clear plan here. One of the nice things in this situation is you have a few options. So Envy can't pick the wrong plan here, because they're kind of just saying, you know what? We're just going to chill out. You have to win the game still, so we're going to make you end it.
Well, if they get to the point where they start losing all their inhibitors again and the split push comes back, because summoner spells are back, teleports are back for Huhi, Darshan, they get to guide all of these minion waves in. But now everybody's sitting on 6 items, save for Hakuho. He's the only one. Still has that control ward to his name.
He'll probably keep it as well. Ever the support player, always making sure he has vision ready for the team.
Yep.
Every time I see anyone from CLG getting chased down by Envy, it just feels like you have to wonder if they're too far forward. But again, setting themselves back up. Darshan in the top lane, Huhi bottom lane, the 1-3-1 set back up.
Yeah, but Baron on the table, 5 seconds on that. Elder Dragon also ticking on CLG. I'll help them get this about halfway done. It'll be halfway by the time they finish this Baron, and then they'll have everything they need. Literally, CounterLogic Gaming do not get any stronger than after they kill this Baron. It's the strongest they will ever be in this game. Maybe some potions, but this is what they need. Banner of Command for Darshan, trying to walk these minions in, trying to get something here.
Well, looks like inhibs are kind of respawning, but Envy aren't going to have them in time. It's going to be close, but Envy, they're just going to have to fight for it here. CLG is going to try and run the minions straight into the base.
Yeah, CounterLogic Gaming, I don't think they like the idea of a high variance fight. Use the minions, push in, get that bottom inhibitor. The middle and the top inhibitor are actually set to come back very shortly. And then they have to get back on these turrets on the Nexus. Walk some minions in with a 1-3-1. It's easy to do, or easier to do, but you can't get caught by hooks.
No, they're dodging them for now. Stixxay forward again, playing aggressive. LirA actually may have caught him. Depth charge is going to land in as well. LirA going to try and take it over the wall, but it could be okay. Apollo still fighting up, and Huhi almost gets the assassination down. LirA kiting back around. Bottom inhibs under threat. That's going to go down to Huhi. And look at that. Walking in, Darshan able to almost take out the Nexus turret. It does go down.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. It's easier to do the 1-3-1 where you're splitting them all across these turrets. Darshan, if you fight on the right, he'll try to take stuff on the left.
Oh,
nice!
Huhi, huge parallel conversion, but Ninja gets the stun down onto Stixxay. LirA the rest of the fight. They actually took him down. Guardian Angel's dead for Ninja, but he's still not dead yet. Envy fighting in the base. Apollo shoots them all down. They actually defend a ridiculous push from CLG, and now Darshan caught up as well. He's going to flash out of the way. But EnVy getting their inhibs back up. Their Nexus is open, but it's safer now.
Yeah, and that bottom inhib is the one that most recently got killed. But look, mid inhib's gonna go down again. Baron buff still on. This might be a do or die. They don't have Stixxay here. CLG are gonna try to get this inhibitor. Maybe threaten. That's a TP from Darshan. He's gonna try to split. He's gonna try to get this bottom wave. Oh my god, what is he doing?
It's 4v5. He's sneaking around. He's hoping that Ninja can't kill him before maybe he can take down the Nexus. CLG
trying to split him thin, trying to pull EnVy every corner of this map.
But Apollo able to clear that last inhibitor out. Darshan cannot make it any further. A minute 20 left with this Baron buff. Stixxay will have about a minute of it. And even less as he has to make his way back towards the base. CLG not going to stick around. They'll go back and reset, and EnVy will get one more shot.
Yeah, there's no turrets left in the entire game for EnVy. They have nothing, no structures to defend. It's just these Nexus and that top inhibitor.
Well, you can see just how much work Ninja is doing there. I mean, CLG tried to split them up in that team fight, but Ninja held one side, Apollo held the other.
I mean, it's a Cassiopeia. It's 6 items, no boots, 842 ability power. He does not get any stronger than that. He has this potion on him as well. And these E's are doing a massive amount of damage, about 500 each E on a 0.5 second cooldown.
Just a casual 1,000 damage a minute of second before mitigation. Seems okay.
His poison is doing about 800 damage every 3 seconds. So if he can actually Q E Stixxay, that's 3 seconds, or 3 casts, might be enough.
Well, there's Stixxay's ultimate. CLG going to try and knock down the other inhibitor.
Yeah, they're just trying to push all these Baron buff minions into the Nexus. They're so hard to kill. They take the attention of everybody. That's that third inhibitor.
It's not up for that much longer. Xmithie hooked again! Now back into the team. They're going to try and take him down. The Wild Growth does get burnt in. And now LirA looking for the assassination, gets onto Darshan. Apollo going to shoot him as there's a hook out again. Stixxay still trying to find the way into the fight, but Ninja now finally going to rotate down. That was a GA popped.
Gave him a trap too. Seeing if he can hit him.
Darshan, I think he's going to go down here. EnVy should be able to get a kill. He blocks what damage he can with the Spirit's Refuge, but he does die to Apollo. Now Huhi going to get chased out of the way. He does have ultimate. He's going to run out of the base, but EnVy still stands strong.
I don't know if EnVy ever get to leave their base. I feel like they have to clean ace for this game to end because they're so afraid of Huhi backdooring and Stixxay!
Stixxay tries to make a hero play, but it's going to cut another shot! Crit almost enough! And Apollo flashes for it! Heroically takes down Stixxay!
That's exactly what you want to see from Apollo, to get in there, have the flash forward. He took that moment. He didn't get nervous. He went for it, and that's the clutch player that you're looking for.
And Ninja's going to stay in the base. Huhi, I think, is trying something fancy.
I mean, he's right on a ward, so it would have to be super fancy, but he's pulling him to the left.
These guys aren't on a ward. Huhi might be the great
He's the bait
for CLG.
He's the bait. The rest of the team is going to try to end the game now. He just needs to survive.
He's buying time, and now the rest of them are out of position. Huhi, where's the ultimate? He goes down, but EnVy needs to get back. CLG looking to take down the Nexus for themselves. Xmithie, he's going to work on it, but Seraph, he's going to be back in time.
Does Apollo have the damage?
He's down here. He's going to try and shoot his best again. Redemption might save him. Aphromoo, he's going to get locked up as well. Xmithie kicks him out of the way. The Nexus still out.
The minions! The minions! The GA! He's coming back up!
Back in now! Back off the ace! EnVy protect their Nexus!
That's an ace too! Darshan is the only one who just respawned! They're able to clear out all of these minions!
600 health or so.
Fiesta, baby!
Left on the Nexus. Pushing towards an hour-long game where EnVy are doing everything they can to just win one more game in the regular season. It means almost nothing.
EnVy are
but a little bit of pride, but they don't care. If they're going to spoil CLG's party, then they might as well.
EnVy are not going down without a fight. This is them saying, we're 10th place. We don't have much to fight for here, but we're going to make you work for it. You have to fight tooth and nail for that easier seed.
You know what? You want to get some practice? You will very rarely get practice like this.
Why not have a long game, longer practice, you know? And now we have those coming back up. Even with that ace, it's still EnVy having to clean up the base. And I'm so glad this was game 3.
Alrighty.
The final game of the North American
What's happening
spring
to this
split.
top inhibitor? It's, you know, maybe a third of the way there. Mid's almost back up. Okay. I mean, I think EnVy, if they're going to win this game, they win a team fight with all their inhibitors up. I think that's maybe the only way they can win, and they have to win a very clean team fight. So EnVy are just going to keep playing it safe, let things regenerate. CLG might go back to the objectives because they don't feel confident winning a fight without them. They still lost the last fight they started.
I mean, it's a ridiculously, I would say fed, but just it's a ridiculous Cassiopeia at 6 items. The fact that she doesn't have to buy boots just means she gets even more ability power. And now we're seeing stuff where people are swapping out items. Darshan had a Banner of Command, swaps it out, gets himself, the Guardian Angel in the full set there. That's going to be another Baron going over. I've lost count of how many we've had this game.
I don't care. It's actually mostly irrelevant at this point. I mean, I'm going to rephrase that. It's completely irrelevant at this point in the game because the first 5 didn't do it. CLG, it doesn't matter if it takes 2 or 7 Barons. They still need to kill the Nexus and win the game.
EnVy, such an interesting, oh boy. Okay, I like this. So LirA has said, all right, I'm doing crap for damage. It doesn't matter. Sell my jungle items, sell all that stuff. Knight's Vow for Apollo to make sure that his AD carry stays safe. Now, Knight's Vow is going to be full value here for himself, which means that he's going to be healing for 12% of the damage that Apollo deals, but he's also going to be taking 12% of the damage that is dealt to Apollo as true damage. So Apollo is that much tankier to kill. So basically, treat him as if he has 12% more effective HP.
And that's a lot, given how much work CLG have to do to kill one of these giant 6-item carries.
And it means if you're going on LirA, Apollo, if he's there actually just pumping lead into you, it's going to be much harder to kill LirA.
Top inhib's about to come back up. Elder Dragon in 20 seconds. If EnVy have a way into this game, it's the next team fight if they win it.
It's back. That's all 3 back up. And look at that. Hakuho getting pretty close to his final item there. Has the Kindle Gem. He's almost there. Control wards, who needs them?
It's probably getting a, I don't even know, Ardent Sensor maybe? Does that do anything?
A bit.
Does it work with...
It doesn't go into Ardent
Does it work
Sensor.
with Locket? Does it get attack speed?
It doesn't go into Ardent Sensor.
Oh, then never mind. It's terrible. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Not going to get it. Elder Dragon for CLG.
Might
That's
be
the most nonchalant I've ever called that.
Yeah, right? Elder Dragon. Third Elder Dragon! So they're trying to close this one out, trying to get that 4th place.
Oh, they're trying a lot of things, Zirene. They're
tried a lot of the same things. Back to the drawing board. We figured it out.
They have no other options. Like, at some point in League of Legends, no matter how far ahead you are, no matter what strategy you choose to try and end the game, you have to end the game in order to win it. You don't take the Nexus, you get nothing. You get 6, you get shame,
or we just be
you
here.
get EnVy winning their last game of the season.
We can just be here forever, Maybe the game never ends, and then they just keep us here.
You angry crowd.
It's the NALCS filibuster.
Then. All right, well, Elder Dragon's got a little bit left, but Baron's only got a minute.
Yep.
CLG just so afraid.
Yeah, somebody missteps, that's their 4th place, and you can see the difference in pressure. Like, I've never seen Apollo really go that ham, even when he has like a Lulu on his team and all the buffs that he would ever need to go that far forward. Apollo's like, if I screw this up, we're still 10th place, doesn't matter. But CLG's like, if I screw this up, we're in 6th instead of 4th. That's a big deal.
Well, Darshan and Seraph are having some fun. Seraph's not doing too much work there, but 3v3 right now on the top lane. Hook onto the cannon minion.
Yeah, Darshan sold his Titanic Hydra as well, has a Thorn Mail now, so he's a little bit harder to take out.
Ooh, Hook almost finds Stixxay. Does have that QSS? Not anymore, actually. He sold it.
Oh, Ninja's
for Aphro instead.
Hard committing to the bottom there. That's interesting. Because now Huhi has to retreat, did half damage to that one, a little over half, and now they're getting spread thin again, and you can see Counterlogic Gaming, this is just how they play, right? All these inhibitors are about to go down.
There's another inhib. EnVy doing a good job holding on to these, but Baron's going to last a little while longer in Xmithie.
Who's going to do it? Who's going to get the game-winning hook for EnVy? Or who's going to be the one who split pushes and gets these objectives and pushes all the way in for Counterlogic Gaming? Comes up clutch. Stixxay's going to look for it!
A 1v2. There's the coming down.
No shield.
Is there as well. Hook isn't going to land. They're going to try and take down the rest instead. They don't feel confident taking down that inhibitor.
Oh, man, and Apollo has that full level 18 Warlord's Bloodlust. That's 50% of the damage that he deals when it's up. And you're seeing him crit for 1,300 on minions. That guy's getting 700 HP back when he does that.
He needs to die instantly, or he lives if he keeps autoing through a fight, it feels like.
It's actually insane, and he's sold his boots. He just has more attack speed. Apollo, now on that 100% crit build, has a Knight's Vow for himself. Seraph picks up a Knight's Vow, and he places it onto Ninja. So we have the combos here.
Yeah. It's been end of the season's been quite a lot of fun. This is our 221st game of the regular season of the Spring Split. This is our second longest game of the Spring Split. Our longest one was this morning.
And
so if you guys came today, you got exceptional value for money.
Got your money's worth. Was that one 64 minutes long?
I don't know. Someone else will tell me, and then I'll tell you. At this point, I think we're going longer, though. Xmithie, Stixxay, and Aphromoo are trying some sort of mission down here in the bottom lane, but EnVy are just saying, yep, again, you have to win, so come kill us.
Yeah, we're not coming to you.
Nexus.
No, you come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. No, you come at me. It's exactly what's going on here. It's like, no, we're not leaving our base. I mean, it's warm in here.
CLG, like, how many Barons do I need to win this game? So many we lost count.
Yeah, Barons, like you said, they're irrelevant. It's like, we don't care if we have Baron or not. We're just going to stay here in our base and keep doing the same thing.
CLG just need, I mean, either team really just needs something.
Oh, Stixxay!
No! That's not what you want at all. Aphromoo now the next target. Almost going to go down. They need to keep firing away, but LirA actually can't quite get it done.
Oh, they're on the Nexus.
Towards the base instead. Huhi going to try and end it. EnVy, can they get it down? They take down Huhi! Darshan, he's the next target. They need to zone out the rest. LirA did fall down, but Ninja is fighting the rest of CLG's carries.
And Ninja played that exactly like he needed to. Xmithie rooted.
He's going to get out of the way. Darshan going to try and take this next one down, but Apollo's going to clear the wave out. 60 seconds till Huhi's back alive. We're going over the longest game of the split, by the way. We got a minute till Huhi's back up.
Oh.
Apollo is in there.
Not fun.
So aggressive.
I know. He's like, I'm going to use my E backwards. I'm going to come at this guy. There's the red buff. We'll pick up soon. And this is Logic Gaming. Perfect from Hakuho. Flash. Throws out the hook and still hits Stixxay, but then the turn onto Afro. LirA has his GA pop, but Ninja for the rest of this is great. Hakuho is saving this with those hooks. But right there, Ninja has to zone on this side. Almost takes a lot of damage, and Apollo's like, man, this game, how many do they need? But I gotta say, Hakuho with those has been on point.
All right, time for another Baron. Cool.
Time for another drink of water. This is going to be a long one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have wonderful news. We have not passed the longest game of this split that we set this morning.
The last game, the longest.
64:43, I believe, was our time this morning. We are now at 65.
Quick. Ask him what the longest game ever is.
I know about that game. I don't think it's going to be this one, but I promise nothing.
Hashtag 80 minutes the dream. We're bringing it back. That did involve complexity, I believe. 10th place team at the time.
I hate you if this goes 81 minutes.
Man, yeah, dude, what? I thought we were friends. You're like, I like you, but I like 65-minute like you. I don't like 80-minute like you, you know? There's a big difference there. That's where it starts. That's my tolerance.
We'll see.
What is Zirene portals? They're everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they've got two, yeah? One in the jungle, one in the top lane.
Banner command, drop portals. He's saying, this is going down now. Minions have to end this game.
PvE only. We refuse to fight you, EnVy.
Siege on the bottom side. Seraph has to deal with stuff on the top.
Yeah, Stixxay is like, yep, I'm the bait. They know. LirA goes straight in for it. Huhi hook back in.
Oh, that's a big commit.
Back in. Gets out with the ultimate. Good amount of healing. Darshan tries to get back into the base, but Xmithie now the next one to get tagged. Hook does not land in. Stixxay should be able to take out this inhibitor.
Another inhib down.
Another inhibitor down.
How many inhibitors have died this game? I'm pretty sure it's at least 20 plus.
Hook gonna miss there onto Xmithie. Darshan just walking these minions in. 2 minutes or so on the Baron buff left. Envy trying to fight it out, but Stixxay, Apollo, damage on Apollo, maybe caught by Xmithie. Darshan gonna dive back in. CLG might have found the opportunity. Huhi does it up the ninja, shuts him down. Now the next is exposed at CLG win the longest game of spring 2017.
And they get 4th place. They get the better seed in Counter Logic Gaming. All of that effort was not in vain.
Apollo has 700 CS.
It got to the point where it pretty much was just get those PvE items, get the double drop portal, the banner of command. They're eventually going to shove in on the top side, and then they pulled them thin. 66 minutes and 50 seconds. They finally do it.
Well, I'm sure that's easily the longest day we've ever had. Maybe, okay, maybe not actually for total games, but average game length's gonna make this one a long one.
Oh yeah.
And it was, of course, our final day of the regular 2017 spring season. Of course it was. Apollo all smiles. He knows that Envy will have to go in full of confidence, full of momentum. They would have liked a win here to make that even better for themselves, but the team in high spirits is good for them, moving into the promotion tournament in the upcoming week. And on the CLG side, they do what Team Liquid could not do. Secure 4th.
Yep, get themselves 4th place.
And that's what they want for the playoffs, you know? 6 would have been not impossible, but just way harder than it needed to be. That game was probably way harder than it needed to be for them, but they'll get 4th out of the deal as a result.
Yeah, which means they will be playing FlyQuest in the quarterfinals instead of Phoenix 1. You see Zix like, thank you.
Bowing to Stixxay, it's like...
It's mind-blowing.
I'm glad he didn't feel sick by the end of that game. He had an excellent Lucian game there, but all credit to Envy, played with such heart in that final game.
And I gotta say, Apollo, Hakuho were big standouts for me in that game from Envy. Apollo had the performance I've been looking for from him. The flashes forward, the cleanup there. Hakuho with great hooks for a large part of that game. But I mean, when you're playing a 67-minute long game, some of them are going to miss, and sometimes they're going to hit minions, but the ones he hit really kept them in the game for that long. He's one of the reasons it went that far.
Yeah, it certainly is, but we'll have a look at how the game ended. It did take quite a while.
We got to relive this.
Let's have a look at that one final moment. I mean, at some point, it just broke for Envy.
Yeah, the Baron buff on Darshan and the rest of the team just means that you get to walk up. It's interesting because Counter Logic Gaming, they could have hard gone for that Nexus. They could have kept hitting it. You see Darshan throwing some hits at it. But once they had killed Ninja, that's pretty much what they needed. Stixxay walks up and hits it, uses an E as well, and that's how it ended.
Yep. Huhi with a good snipe takes down one of the carries that they needed to in Ninja. And, I mean, 6-Adam Cassiopeia would have easily won team fights if allowed to free hit. Huhi makes sure that doesn't happen, and CLG eventually win the game.
Yeah, and that was one of those ones where you had seen previously when they all tried to go for the Nexus, where it was Xmithie, and then they also had Aphromoo, and it didn't work. It was almost there, and it almost cost them the game to rubber band back on them. So that was one where they're like, okay, we have to kill at least one person, make sure it's a DPS, whether it's Apollo or Ninja, then kill the Nexus, because that's how it's a much more guaranteed victory as opposed to the 50-50 or whatever probability you would give it of just smacking the Nexus.
Yeah, they managed to adjust the plan. But now to hear more about their series and the plans for the playoffs, let's join Riv's stage side for an interview with